Okay, Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. And salutation you Achamoth that push this word in truth and in sincerity. I have a little small testimony. You know, nothing came out of it because, hey, the Lord was on my side. But I mentioned before in the previous video that some dude got put to death that was a part of the parole program that my job have. You know, I'm not gonna mention my job. I'm not gonna mention any of that, but my job is involved with a parole release program that helps inmates get jobs and, you know, help them better themselves. But anyway, I knew that I'm a manager on my job. So I knew that they had hired certain individuals that work, that's gonna come to work. So I didn't make nothing of it, you know, because it's a revolving door on my job, especially with that parole program. So to get more in detail, today I'm in a cafeteria, and this is around my break time, around 9:20, 9:30. So it's different hours where people work. People work different hours. So this particular cat probably started working at 9 o'clock, or he's gonna work at 9:30, because I came to the cafeteria at 9:20. So sometimes they work from 9:30 to whatever they get off or their shift is. So I'm getting my coffee, and I was going to order a bagel. Everything bagel with some cream cheese in my coffee, you know, but I didn't get a chance to get the coffee because I didn't get a chance to get the bagel slacky because of the fact that I'm in the cafeteria. All of a sudden I hear, Yahweh. So I didn't turn around. I just like, oh shit. Yahweh. GMS. He didn't say GMS. He said GMS. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is a scoffer. If he wasn't a scoffer, he would have been yelling my name out like that, trying to put me on blast. So I ignored him. Everybody looking at him. So I ignored him. I'm not saying anything. I just get my coffee. I was online to get a bagel about it. So you know what? I'm just going to walk. So I walked out of the cafeteria, and I'm going towards the parking lot because I'm on my break. And usually on my break, I would sit in my car, or I would go outside. So I'm going outside. The dude follows me. Yahweh. False prophet. Yahweh. I'm like, what the hell? So he kind of like was like in his zone. He don't know who I am. So I ignored him. And then when he came outside, and I sat outside on the benches, and it was a few Dominican men out there, and he was screaming, yo, Yahweh, why you ignoring me? You ain't got the balls to talk to me? And somebody yelled out, somebody said, you know, one of the Dominican dudes, that loco. You know, so I already know what that means. That nigga's crazy. You know what I mean? So I just put a smirk on my face. Everything is fun and games? We're going to see everything is fun and games. So he walks away. He storms off in a fit of rage. After my break, I'm in the office. And here is the testimony. Here's the kicker. I'm on my break. After I get off my break, I go back to the office. This dude goes to the managers, not the supervisors, the managers, and was like, oh, I got to make a complaint because I had a run-in with somebody that's a part of an occult, you know, a hate group that hate white people, that think that that America's going to be destroyed. And then the dude, yo, and the crazy thing was, the dude was subscribed to my channel, subscribed to GMS Camp sit-downs. So this dude watched the videos. Not for edification, but to be a scoffer and a scorner. Because why else would he do that? If we was watching for edification, because I had plenty of men come to me on my job and be like, shalom on the low and don't say nothing, man, because they, we incognito in this thing. But this dude here, I'm in the office after my break and I'm hearing him talking to the other managers about he got a complaint against a worker that's a part of an occult. He didn't say a manager because he didn't know I was a manager. Because he just started working there. I got into altercation with a worker. He's a part of an occult. And he's part of a hate group. And I got proof of him being a part of that hate group. So the dude showed my channel. He showed the dudes on my job that's cool with me. And I'm in the office, but on the other side. But I can hear him because he's screaming, he's yelling. And they telling him, yo, man, lower your voice, calm down, man. Relax, man. What's going on? I got into altercation. What altercation you got into? So where you was at with the altercation came at? In the cafeteria and in the yard. What do you mean there's no yard? In the parking lot. So they reviewed the footage. No altercation. I'm just sitting. He's the one that's being the aggressor. I'm just sitting there. I'm ignoring them. So they're looking at him like, okay, so where's the altercation coming at? From what we see, you are the aggressor. This man is minding his business. But he's a part of an occult. That's when he pulled out my channel. He showed me putting up videos. Then he put up GMS camp sit-downs. Where we out there on the highways and the byways, and he showed them the videos. And I'm like, oh shit, this guy is really trying to put a damper in my, my shit. He's trying to really destroy me for whatever reason. I don't know. So to make a long story short, they was like, okay, you talking about, I ain't gonna mention my name, my government name. I ain't gonna mention nobody's name. So when I finish hearing it, I come out. And I'm like, what's going on? There you go right there. So he was like, yo, do you know who he is? He's a manager. So you just started working here. So what's the beef? What's the gripe? The gripe is he's how you said it? The gripe is he's in a cult. He's in an occult and he preaches hate. He's a part of a hate group. He's in the occult. He's an occultist. So everybody looking at him and they looking at him like this dude is crazy, man. So it wasn't me that got rid of him. It was my man that got rid of him. He said, you know what, man? It was a mistake hiring you. I heard him say that. You know what? It was a mistake hiring you. So we know what we're going to do. We're going to send you to HR and return your ID and your work boots. You got 24 hours to return your work boots. If you don't return them in 24 hours, we're going to charge you the $150 for your work boots. And that's going to come out of your, because he didn't get a chance to, he only worked. I mean, he went to orientation. So orientation, you get paid $200 for orientation. To be in that 6-hour class, we're going to charge you, come out of your orientation money for the work boots. You got 24 hours to turn in the work boots. So he's bugging. Now you know that I'm a manager. You just fucked yourself, homeboy. So slacking for the rant, for the 9-minute rant on what happened. But I got a few scriptures. Abba Ratazayu Akimate will be edified. And this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 8, verse 11, because what he did was evil. And he didn't think that was evil because he thought he was doing something, to save face. Because, he watched the video. So therefore, I mean, I'm starting to think now, because I parked my car and I'm off work. This dude here was watching the videos. He wasn't for edification. He was a scoffer. He was a goddamn scoffer. And you can't pinpoint his channels because he got these ghost channels where he put up videos in this channel, put up videos in that channel. The channel disappeared. He get another channel. You block him. He got another channel. Come on your channel again. Talking shit. You block him again. So this dude here, I didn't know who he was. So I'm saying to myself, could it be this dude, you know, Trailblaze 77 that been coming on my channel? Could it be Trailblaze 77? Could it be this dude? I don't know. What are you trailblazing, nigga? You trailblaze your ass out of a job. That's what you did. This is the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible, 8 verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men are fully sitting them to do evil. And this dude, I almost could guarantee that it was this dude. The spirit is telling me it was this dude. I'll block him on my channel. He'll create another channel. Talk shit. I'll block him again. He'll create another channel. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not this dude. But this guy came out of nowhere trying to put me on blast today. This happened today. Trying to put me on blast. And got caught up. And then what he did was, he tried to get me fired. He went to the managers to file a complaint against another worker, not knowing who I was. Nigga, you just started working here, man. You don't know who the fuck I am. And then, when all is said and done, when he finished his testimony of talking shit, when I got tired of hearing him bump his gums, I came out. There you go right there. This dude's a manager. What? And you was going to be assigned to LTC. You can't make this shit up, man. I had nothing to do with his walking papers. My man did it. And rightfully so. Because what he did was an evil work, man. But this, in this particular case, it got executed speedily. But guess what? That's twofold. You lost your job, but now you came up against a man that's doing the work. So now you a marked man. It says, back in Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully setting them to do evil. And that was the evil thing you did, man. Try to put me on blast. After you put me on blast and I ignored you, you try to file a complaint to the supervisor and the managers, man. Not knowing that I'm a manager. And you got caught up in your own scheme, your own fucking device that you was trying to bury me. You was digging a grave for me. But guess what? You fell into that own grave, man. You was digging a hole for me and you fell in that hole. How you like that? Punk bitch. So it reads, there was sin to do evil 100 times. This dude was in a parole program. He was a nigga. Coming home from jail. Straight niggerism. Young cat. Trying to get his life together. Ran across Hebrew Israelite videos. Apparently, he was watching Great Millstone because he mentioned GMS. He didn't say GMS, he said GMS. So this dude had to be listening to other camps, old videos. Who knows, man? But the true thing is, of the matter, judgment came upon this dude. And that's a small minor judgment because he lost his job. So what he thought he was going to do, he thought he was going to make me lose my job. He lost his job. Man, nigga, you bugging out, man. I've been in this job for a certain amount of years, man. And I'm a manager. You just started working. And you saw me, instead of you being discreet like other people that saw me, that watch my videos, that watch Great Millstone videos. No, you was a scoffer and a scorner. You was shit talking. So it says back in Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, which is Esau. Esau loved doing wickedness, man. Yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh, which fear before him, but it shall not be well with the wicked. Esau is the wicked, but 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans surpass the deed of the wicked, which is Esau. You're more wicked than Esau, man. It says, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Lord. Esau don't fear the Lord. This pertaining to 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that do not fear the Lord, man. You ain't nothing but a scoffer and a scorner, man. And that's what you are, man. You a scoffer and a scorner and a reprobate. This is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 29, and it reads, judgments are prepared for scorners and stripes for backs. Let me read that again so we can sink in. It says, judgments are prepared for scorners. What's part of them judgments? Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 1 on down to 3. Ezekiel 21, verse 9 on down to 12. That's a part of them judgments, man. You people have not a clue of what's going down, what's coming down the pike, man. You're clueless. Continue in your folly, continue to scoff and scorn and see where it gets you. Judgments, this is back in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 29. Judgments are prepared for scorners and stripes for the backs of fools. That dude was a scoffer and a scorner and a fucking fool. You see a person, here it is, you only been on the job for a couple of days. And you go and you running. How that look, man? How that look? You've been on the job for a couple of days, probably 4 days, 3-4 days the most, and you run into he didn't go to HR, he went to the managers. He went to the managerial office to try to file a complaint, which he should have went to HR. He would have got fired quicker. They wouldn't even listen to him. He would have got fired. Because like I said, he came from that parole program, so that's like a revolving door. You got Jake, you got Ephraim, you got Issachar, they're coming in, and it's like a revolving door. Some stay, some stay and work their ass off, turn their life around. Because I know a few cats. Then you got some that'll get a couple of paychecks so they can flip it. You know how Jake get down, man. You know, so, hey, man, you got, it says, judgment, this is Proverbs chapter 19, verse 29. Judgments are prepared, certain judgments. Like I mentioned, Jeremiah 15, 1 and 3, 1 on down to 3. Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 9. And there's multiple scriptures going into judgment that's going to take place, man. During the time of martial law. So, hey, man. Then it reads, judgments are prepared for the scorners and stripes for the backs of fools. That dude was a fool. Fueled by emotions, tried to get me fired. He got fired. Now what you gonna say to your parole officer? And why you got fired? Dumb nigga. Jake is bugged out, man. And you know why he's like that, man? You know why he's in that state? Because, let me get something real quick. Scripture just came to my mind. This is scripture that came to my mind. This is Jeremiah chapter 6. Verse, let me see. Verse 30. Reprobate silver shall men call them. You a reprobate, bro. You void of judgment. You saw me. You know, you that's new on the job. You should have held your peace. But you was so fueled with hatred for Great Millstone and for the doctrine that you was listening to. So that lead me to understand that you was nothing but a scoffer and a scorner from the beginning. You had no belief. So you watch, and then what he did was he was showing my videos to the managers. I'm like, yo, this dude really trying to get me fired. I'm like, oh shit. So with dudes, I'm saying with the managers, they was like, oh man, you know, you one of them Hebrew Israelites, man? You know, hey man, I heard of y'all, man, but you know, ain't no one what you're doing. I can't hold you accountable for your religious practices, you know what I'm saying? So, hey man, you cool with me, man. It don't coincide with me. And I showed them that they send me and all that on the job just to save face. And they was like, okay, so we're part of the 12 tribes too. But I don't subscribe to that because, you know, I believe in Jesus and eating pork. So they started laughing. But I'm like, okay, you know, they also was scoffing on the low. But they didn't say anything because what they going to say? What could they do? So I showed them and I told them the true names of the Lord. You know, but it was 3 of the managers that he went to, and I showed them the names of the Lord. And I proved the names of the Lord. I went to the blue letter and I did all that. But guess what? They was like, hey man, you know what, man? You know, I ain't got nothing against you, man. You believe in what you want to believe, you know, and shit that's, you know, didn't come to nothing other than this dude getting fired, man. They still gonna believe in them Simeonites, them Dominicans. They still gonna believe in Cesare Borgia, aka Serapis Christus. They still gonna be in them goddamn churches. So nothing gonna change. The crazy thing is, man, the dude that came at even them goddamn managers that was, you know, down low scoffing as well, but saving face, but that's laughing and making jokes about it, that's scoffing. They also reprobates. The Lord rejected them. The Lord don't want them reprobate, pork eating, shrimp eating, crab eating, adulterous motherfuckers. Excuse my language. So it reads, reprobate silver, Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 30. Reprobate silver shall men call them, because the Lord have rejected them. You hear that? Let me read it again so it can sink in. Reprobate, this is Jeremiah 6, verse 30. Reprobate silver shall men call them. What men? The men of the Lord. The men of understanding. Because the Lord Yahweh have rejected them. And that's why they continue to eat pork. They know of the Hebrew Israelites, but they don't coming back into the fold because they want to worship. And there's a lot of things with these Dominican men and these women. These Dominican men and women, they see the white man as God. It has been embedded in their brain that the white man is God, man. Even though you can show them scriptures, they still cling on to that goddamn Catholic shit that they believe in. Cesare Borgia, a.k.a. Serapis Christus. They believe in that, man, wholeheartedly. So they was joking around, but they didn't say nothing. What they gonna say? Now you know I'm an Israelite, so what? Hell, what you gonna do? We all on the same goddamn page. We all manage what you gonna do. And we cool with each other. You know, so they were just joking around, you know, low-key scoffing and scorning. That it goes back to Proverbs 29, Proverbs 19, verse 29. You want to be a scoffer? You're gonna get them stripes. Because you were nothing but a fool. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. We're gonna continue on. Because when the dude got fired, he was looking at me. But it looked like he wanted to kill me. What did I do to you? What did I actually do to you to come at me the way you came at me today? I don't even know you, bro. Don't know you. Don't want to know you. Don't owe you anything. What the fuck did I do to you? When you came at me belligerent the way you came at me today. And then on top of that, you tried to get me fired. And it backfired on you. Cause I'm a goddamn manager. So what did you get out of that? Other than you losing your job. Now you gotta face your parole officer. Because now you lost your job. But you was in a parole program that he got you hooked up into. Only 4 days on the job. Or less than 4 days. And you got canned. Because you was a nigga. And your destination is to get put to death, nigga. This is Job chapter, let me see, 12. Because you was deceived, nigga. You thought you was going to come in there, make a scene, and get me fired. Because you had a gripe with Great Millstone. And he didn't say GMS, he said GMS. As if we're a mess. So it shows you that he's been watching videos for a long time. I don't know how long he's been home. Or if somebody put him onto the videos. Because there's a waiting list to get into that program. So he could be home 2 months. Somebody put him onto the videos, or he be surfing in YouTube and find a video and start watching videos and get butt hurt. His pen is getting a bunch, and he get cut some kind of way, and now he wanna be a scoffer. You block him. I don't know if like I said, I don't know if it was him, but I've been blocking channels, and more channels that pop up, man. So this is back in Job chapter 12, verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. With who? Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Those that's doing the deceiving, and the first cat to come to my mind is IUIC. Because Nate is doing a whole lot of deceiving out there. He belongs to the Most High, and the deceived belongs to the Most High. So this dude here that was deceived and thinking that he was going to get me fired because he was bored of what I was teaching, and then he showed my channel and kept sit downs. Me being out there in the highways and the byways, trying to discredit me, trying to destroy me, thinking he had leverage. So they're going to get rid of a person that's a manager. Think about the logic of this thing right here. So they're going to get rid of a person that's a manager, that's doing good, doing a good job, been to this job as a manager for almost 4 years. So a person that's been on the job less than 4 days? Where's the logic in that, man? Jake is bugged out, man. But that's okay, man. That's okay. That's okay. You've been deceived. The Lord deceived you, man. Because you have been rejected. Because you reprobate silver, man. You have been rejected, nigga. And the Most High don't want your ass, man. This is 2nd Esdras. Real quick. Chapter 15, and the apostle Tahar brought this out. The order unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, man. You've been watching videos. How you know who I was? How you know my name is Yahweh? How you know I'm a part of Great Millstone? You've been watching the videos, nigga. And you a scoffer. And that's why the Lord allowed that to happen to you. You try to dig a ditch for me. And you want to fall into the same ditch you dug. Nigga. Remind me of that video game back in the 80s, Dig Dug. I'm just messing around. But it's a video game called Dig Dug. You know? It's one of them 80s Atari video games. You know, Dig Dug. You know? And the dude shit is dig graves, dig ditches and bury bones and bury you know, the skeletons coming at him. And the animals, you know, the monsters coming at him to kill him. There's a video game called Dig Dug. He dug his own grave, man. But I'm gonna continue on. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse I'm gonna go to the point. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity, the unbelief of them trouble thee. What? Who? The Israelites. The 2/3. The apostle Tahar brought this out. Don't get mad if you come across an unbeliever or a scoffer or a scorner that talks shit. GMS. Yeah, I ignored that dude. I was in a cafeteria getting my coffee. I was online to get a bagel. Everything bagel with some cream cheese. But I just walked off with my coffee. She was making the scene. Everybody was looking at him. And then I walked off because I was ignoring him. So this dude was bugged out. And then we went to I was outside and I sat down on the bleachers outside. I didn't even want to go to my car. I didn't want the dude to follow me to my car so he could know what car I got. So I just sat down and then he was talking shit. And I heard somebody say, "Da loco." I put a smirk on my face. You think this shit is funny? You think it's a joke? That's when he probably got pissed and went to the managers to get me fired. And I know that I was a manager. Dig that shit, man. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this story up, man. You got a bunch of reprobate, half-baked in the brain niggas out there, man. That's slated for destruction. Because they unbelievers. So back to 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 3. And it reads, fear not their imaginations against thee. Don't fear people coming up against you, talking shit, trying to get you fired, trying to put you on blast because you serve Yahweh while Yahweh Shah. In truth and in sincerity. You out there in the houses and the Bibles, you putting your videos up, you doing what you got to do. You do what you got to do to please the Lord. You being right in the eyes of the Most High. Fear not their imaginations against thee. All the imagination that any 2/3 Jacob come up against, come in their mind to try to come up against you is going to fail, man. So it reads, fear not their imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity, the unbelief of them that trouble thee. And that dude was troubling me on my job. Nigga, you been there for like almost 3 days. 4 days tops. And you making the ruckus? Like I said, I never ran into this dude. This is my first time having an encounter with this dude. Never saw him before. So I knew, and then from what I've heard, he was a new worker. And his job title, like I said, some of them come in 9, some of them come in 9:30. So I came in 9. So what I heard, from what I've learned, he started work at 9:30. But he was there at 9:20, probably trying to get him a little snack or something, some coffee, whatever he was doing. He probably was there earlier. But I came in at 9:20 on my break to get me a cup of coffee and an everything bagel with some goddamn cream cheese. Boom, then I walked out of that bitch with was a goddamn cup of coffee, black with no sugar. Because this dude was making a scene and I just wanted to walk away. I feel I did the right thing. I didn't engage this dude. I walked away. He did some snake shit, tried to get me fired. He wound up getting fired himself. It says, this is the point, straight to the point. 2 Ezra 15 verse 3. Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And that's what's coming down the pike. That's what's going to happen to you. Because the Lord appointed 4 kinds of deaths for niggas like you, man. Jeremiah 15 verse 1 on down to 3, man. The Lord appointed 4 kinds of deaths for niggas like you, man. So, hey, you learned of this truth. You know that you're a Hebrew Israelite, but you became butthurt because you got cut for whatever came out on a different channel you are subscribed to. You probably got cut. Maybe I cut you. Maybe a brother from GMS Camp Sit Downs cut you. But you got cut, bro. You became butthurt. You had your panties in a bunch. Then when you saw me, you lost your goddamn mind. You just got emotional. Emotions are dangerous, nigga. And you found that out today. That your emotions got you fired. Because you are a reprobate. The Lord rejected you. The Lord don't want your ass, man. This is 2 Ezra. And like I mentioned earlier, you knew of this truth because you've been watching videos. How you know my name? How you present videos to the 3 other managers, my channel, and GMS Camp Sit Downs. You know the channels. You probably know other brothers' channels too. But you tried to get me fired by using that leverage against me. I'm going to put up this dude's channel. Put up what he do. What happened? You got canned. 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 9. Then shall they be in a pitiful case which not have abused my ways. You have abused the Lord's ways, man. You've been watching the Great Millstone videos and other camps. And all along, you wasn't doing it for edification. You wasn't doing it to receive salvation or because you were part of the hope for the elect. You're not a part of the hope for the elect, bro. You're nothing but a reprobate. You was doing it to be a scoffer and a scorner. Because whatever, you probably came in with sincerity at first, but then you got cut. You got butthurt. Maybe you committed adultery. Maybe you a gang-banging, weed-smoking, drug-dealing nigga that can't change his ways, man. And you got butthurt. I don't know, man. Only you know. And only the Most High know. So, it says, then shall, Rebecca 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 9, then shall they be in a pitiful case which now have abused my ways. How do you abuse the Most High ways? By learning of this truth and becoming a scoffer and a scorner, man. Talking shit. Being an outright reprobate, man. Void of judgment. talking your shit, laying snares and traps and getting caught up in them yourselves, man. So he's, and they that have cast away, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment. You cast the truth away despitefully, man. Because you got butthurt, because you heard something that you didn't agree with, or like I stated earlier, you like to commit adultery, you like to sleep with other men's women. Maybe you can't get that drug dealing demon off you. Maybe you can't stop being a goddamn gangbanger. Who knows, man? But you got cut severely, and your only reaction was to become a scoffer and a scorner because you couldn't deal with the truth, man. Because you're a reprobate. Because you're void of judgment, nigga. And that's why you got canned. You try to set a trap for me, making a big-ass commotion in the cafeteria. And you know what? The Lord had me ignore him, don't even engage him. When he was saying, Yahweh, GMS, I was ignoring him. I was ignoring him. And people, they know who I am. That was in the cafeteria. So when he was doing that, people was looking at him like he was crazy. He seemed the crazy one, not me. He seemed like the crazy one. I was ignoring him like I didn't even know who this dude was. Yo, you can't make this shit up, man. I wish I had my recorder. I wish I would record this shit. But I just ignored the dude, man. So it reads, for such as in their life have received benefits. Hey, the benefits you receive, you got out of jail. Your parole officer hooked you up with a job. With this parole program that we have on my job. And you didn't take heed to it, man. You started watching the videos, which is a part of the benefits, to get you back on the right track, to get you to know Yahweh, why Yahweh was shy, to teach you of the Lord's ways. But you refused that. You rejected all that, man. Because you was a reprobate and you were a demon. And so it reads, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. You didn't know the Lord. That's why the Lord rejected you, man. And you're going to remain in that state pursuant to Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9, on down to 12, until the Lord destroyed this bitch, man. When Yahweh cracked them skies, and the Lord allows Yahweh to crack them skies, and the Most High put the Spirit on that assembly of great nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 50 and 9, on down to 12, to shoot missiles on this bitch. You're going to get caught up in that, man. You probably don't even survive that, man. You probably get caught up in Jacob's trouble. You probably die of famine. You probably die by the sword. You probably get tossed headfirst to a concentration camp, man. Dumb nigga. Silly nigga. Can't make this up, man. And they that have, verse 12, 2nd Ezra 9, verse 11, and they that have lost my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, because you found out the truth, you was watching the videos, so place of repentance was open up unto you, man. But you couldn't receive it, because you are a reprobate. The Most High rejected you. Nigga. It says, understood not, but despised it. The same must know after death by pain. And that's your judgment, nigga. Death by pain. Once you receive that pain from the way of whatever you go through, let's read it again so we can sink in. The same must know it after death by pain. When you get put to death and you go to the spirit world, now you're going to know that everything that this man was saying was the truth. Everything that the Hebrew Israelites, some of the apostles on down, the apostle on Tahar on down was saying was the truth. You have to go through that shit and acknowledge that after death. But the pain you go through, whether it's by being shot in the head, being chopped up, being eaten by a wild beast, pursuant to 2nd Ezra, pursuant to Ecclesiastes chapter 39, verse 28, teeth of wild beasts, there be spirits created for vengeance. Whether you go through that, whether you drown, but you're going to know that you was a fucking idiot and a reprobate when you in the spirit world And you know, now you're in your right state of mind. See? The scripture came to my mind, but I'm not going to get it. I'm going to quote it. I'm just going to quote this scripture real quick before I close it out. Because the Lord only gave a certain group of men this truth, man. That's going to hold on to this truth dearly. That's going to hold on to this truth dearly and cherish it and change their ways and walk in the ways of the highest, man. Observe the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities in the land we live in, which is Babylon. Observe the high holy days. Keep them. Also, the Lord's going to put the spirit on that man to go out there in the highways and the byways to do his will. To reach much men as he possibly can. But that was only given to a few. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 12, verse 36. Roughly paraphrasing it, it says, you was only meet to know this truth. Roughly paraphrasing it. And a few like thee. 2nd Ezra chapter 12, verse 36, man. Roughly paraphrasing that scripture. That was only meet to know this secrets of the highest. What's the secrets of the highest? This truth, man. The breakdowns, the proper breakdowns, 100% truth, man. That only was meet to know the secrets of the highest and a few men like thee. Roughly paraphrasing, man. And you are not one of them men. You are a reprobate demon. So with that was my testimony. Hey man, that shit bugged me out, man, today, man. You know? And I couldn't wait to get off work to do this video. Because that shit was like mind-boggling at how he did it, man. I walk into the cafeteria and this dude just started yelling my Hebrew name. Yahweh. When I first heard it, I was like, oh shit. What the fuck? I didn't even respond. I didn't turn around and look at him or none of that. I was like, oh shit. Because I'm used to people approaching me on my job and be like, oh, but they be discreet. You had a bunch of brothers that was discreet, that watched my videos, that watched the Great Millstone videos, and they believers, and they come to me, oh, shake my hand, yo, I'm happy I see you in person. I watch your videos, I watch the camp videos, I watch the apostles videos. I ran across men that respectfully greeted me. Then I ran across a couple of men, about 3 men, that try to ridicule me, that try to call me out throughout the years. It's the 3rd man that did it on my job today. She was crazy. I just walked away. Slacking for the rambling, but that was my testimony. The dude was a reprobate. He's a scoffer. He's a scorner. He's an unbeliever. And the Lord gonna deal with that nigga. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the bishops and the elders of Great Millstone once again. And salutation, you Ake Mata, that push his word in truth and in sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.